G'day property people, my weekly real estate market update. And if you're in property mode, buying, selling, investing, whatever it might be, you're going to want to check out my latest update at martinuzzi.com.au to keep you informed on your next property move. So let's unpack some of the articles I've read this week. And first of all, yes, property prices are still rising. We saw the rate cut a couple of weeks ago, and that has had a ripple effect with more demand getting into the market. And we have seen capital cities prices over the last week improve by 0.2 to 0.6%. Over the month, combined capital averages up 0.6% and year on year up 3.3%. Now here on the Sunshine Coast, slightly different story. We're seeing year on year figures, growth figures of around 6-7%. Some are even higher, edging towards 10% mark as well, depending on the suburb that you're in. So lots of really good demand out there, but we have seen buyers show a little bit more caution and taking a little bit more time before they sign their contracts, which shows that they're really making sure that the property represents good value for the money that they're spending, because property prices are up here on the Sunshine Coast. In other news, the federal government first home guarantee is being brought forward to the 1st of October from January next year. I think they were going to release it. And that's exciting news for first home buyers. So it's going to allow more buyers to get into the market. It's 5% deposit required, no lender's mortgage insurance, so saving a fair bit of money on that too. And the best news is they've increased the cap from $700,000 to $1 million. And let's be honest, where on the Sunshine Coast do you find a house for $700,000 anymore? So increasing that cap is certainly advantageous, but it does have a double-edged sword, because what we've seen in the past, pre-COVID, they brought out a similar incentive. We did see more buyer demand come into the market, more competition, and naturally prices pushed up from that as well. So could be a little bit of a catch-22, but certainly good news for those that are trying to get into the market. As of 1st of October, you will have some advantages there as well. One article that I read this week that I found interesting was the number of people living in households in Australia. So one of the reports I assessed show that 60% of Australian households are actually made up of one or two people. So I think this is a sign for where the trend's going to head as far as our housing is concerned, because at the moment, majority of homes are 3 or 4 bedrooms, but only being occupied by 1 or 2 people. That doesn't make a lot of sense. So I think we will see over the coming decade more smaller units and smaller townhouse options for people, and that'll be a big part of government planning, I am sure. So more information on that in this week's news article as well at martinuzzi.com.au. Now, they are suggesting that prices are going to continue to rise, and Tim Lawless, the director at Catality or CoreLogic, he is suggesting that potentially we'll see housing prices across Australia in the next 12 months by the end of 26 rise by a further 13%, which is fairly significant numbers. I didn't think it'd be that major because we are seeing now affordability push out for many people, and whilst there's a shortage of properties, that might keep things in check so the prices don't push up too much further. But again, you can read it all in this week's news article at martinuzzi.com.au. As always, here to keep you informed and help you on your next property journey. Anything I can assist with, give us a call, send us an email, or PM me where you're watching this. Have a great day.